Today, I want to talk to you about your purpose. What is your purpose? This is a question that many of us do not ask ourselves when we go through this life. What is your purpose? If you can answer this question, then you are blessed. The reason why I brought this topic is because many of us go through life without trying to understand what God expects from us, why God created us. Jeremiah 17, verse 7 to 8 says, "Blessed are those that put their trust in the Lord. They are like trees planted in the river bank. Their roots deep into the river. They are not bothered by heat, neither are they bothered by long periods of drought. Their leaves keep being green, and they flourish and produce beautiful fruits." Now, if your purpose is not in God, then you will not enjoy this beauty of being able to bear fruits. You will not enjoy the beauty of remaining calm and being unbothered when things are in chaos in your life. You will not enjoy the beauty of understanding that it is not your place to change things. You will not enjoy the beauty of the ability of not being able to be bothered by prolonged months of drought. Your purpose is what defines you, is what you created in this world to do. Your purpose is the reason that God sent you in this life, because you are made in the image and likeness of God, and He created you for a reason. You need to get back to the source to be able to know why you were created. Why do I say that? You need to get back to the source. Like an example of someone who has created a machine. Yep. I created a machine, and this machine is geared towards producing natural juice, let's say. But looking at this machine, you wouldn't know how it functions unless you read the manual, the user guide. That is the same thing for us human beings. Unless your purpose is rooted in Christ, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. Thomas Khalil says, "A man without a purpose is like a sheep without a rudder, a waif, a nothing, a no man." So what drives your life? Ecclesiastes 4 verse 4 says that, "I observe that the basic motive for success is the driving force of jealousy and envy." Now, whatever drives your life directs what you attract in your life. If you are driven by covetousness, you have a competitive spirit because you always want to have the finest things in this life. Those things are good. But what matters is what drives your intentions. What drives your life? What drives your decisions? What drives your perspectives? What drives you as a whole? Whatever drives you is what you are as a person. So many people are driven by guilt. Maybe you have done something and you're scared. You're unable to let it out. Every decision in your life will be around that guilt. You would not even live freely because of guilt. Some people are driven by anger. Why? Because something has happened. It has hurt your pride. It has hurt your ego. And every decision they take or they make is in accordance with that particular situation. Because people have decided to live in the past. They have decided to hook up, to hang up on those things that cause them pain, anger, resentment, Others are driven by fear. Yes, many people are driven by fear. The fear of losing someone, that most often you have to go to the odds just to be able to keep people, and at the same time moving out of your cup and pouring out of another person, and you end up being disappointed and you end up being empty. But question I will ask you today, can you pour out of an empty cup? People are living with fear, driven by fear of losing a job, fear of not achieving success, depending on what their definition of success is, fear of not having a child, fear of the unknown even. Many people are fearful. Any little thing, they shake. So whatever it is that drives your life influences what happens to you. So what is your purpose? Are driven by materialism, the need to acquire, to keep things, to have all the things, greed, competition, jealousy, envy. Others are driven by the need to seek approval. You want to do these things because you want somebody to love you. You want to do this because you want people to like you. You want to do this because you want to fit into a particular milieu. You want to wear the latest clothes in this life because you want people to know that you come from a rich family, or that you have power, or that you have influence. So what drives your life is part of your purpose. What drives you? Actually, majority of those who follow the crowd end up being lost in it. The one thing I know and I'm confident about is that if you follow the crowd, you are doomed to failure. The key to failure is to follow the crowd. You lose yourself. You have no identity. You lose your uniqueness. You cannot live your life by pleasing someone else. Nothing matters in this life than knowing God's purpose for your life. Nothing can compensate not knowing God's purpose in your life. So, you need to understand that you were not put on earth to be remembered. You were put on earth to prepare yourself for eternity. Understanding who you are as a child of God, who you are as a person, enables you to direct your choices into the right thing, your energy, your talents, your mind, the blessings that God has given to you freely, your finances, into achieving what God has called you to do. So your purpose is not revolved only around you. If your purpose is self-centered and seeks only itself, or wants to achieve anything that is just for your own benefit, you are missing the track. How do you use your gifts? How do you use your blessings? What is the impact of what God has given to you freely on the people around you? You need to understand that this life too is temporary. It will pass. And unless you achieve what you were created to be, you will miss eternity. So I want you to understand what you are doing. Because if you are doing something over and over and it is not working, you need to get back to the source to understand what you are here for. You need to give your life to Christ. You need to walk according to God's plans for you and designs for you. You need to understand that you were made by God, created by God for his purpose. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, in Jeremiah he says, he knew you and he called you by name. So God cannot create you unless he has a plan for you. I know the plans I have for you, says God. Plans to prosper you, to bring you hope. So, most of the time we equate this prosperity to just material things. What do you have that was not given to you by God? And if it was given to you by God, why are you proud about it? How do you use those things? Because you need to understand that everything that God gives to you is not for you alone. It is to help others too. So unless you understand your purpose in this life, your life is not going to be focused on the right things. You will spend your time lamenting over things you should let go, over worthless things, over things that not serve you. People miss their destiny because they are focused on the wrong things, and they have decided to be driven by the things that are not right. So what drives you? How do you make decisions? How do you look at life? What is the influence that you have on the things around you? How do you use your talents, your energy? How do you use your skills? You need to get back to the source. Take a minute and think. If you're struggling with something, ask yourself, is this what God has called you to do? Or is it just your greedy ambition or your self-centeredness? Are you struggling with this relationship? Is it God's plan for you? Yes. The kind of people you keep in your environment, are they the kind of people that will push you to superior levels? You need to ask yourself, you need to answer those questions. Unless you answer all of these questions, you will miss your mark. Are you struggling with a job? Because God did not intend for us to come to this life to suffer or to struggle. Yes, the hardship will be there. It will be there because He already said that in the world there shall be trials and tribulations. But in everything, with prayer and supplication, we should make our requests known to God. So what is your purpose? Are you spending time on the right things? Are you spending time on the wrong things? Are you following what God has designed for you? Are you sure you're on the right track? I cannot tell you what your purpose is. God can. Get closer to God so that you make intentional decision. To be intentional is to see things as they are. To be intentional is to see black and say it's black, and not try to say, oh, there's a little white behind and it is black because of. If you know your purpose in this life, congratulations and welcome to expressing the highest version of yourself. Welcome to a purpose driven life. Welcome to a life of abundance. Welcome to a life where we walk by faith and not by sight. Welcome to a life of prosperity. Welcome to a life where struggle is gone. Congratulations if you know your purpose. And if you're still struggling with your purpose, feel free to hit me inbox and I can lead you through discovering who God intended for you to be. You are of God. You are in the world, but you are not of the world. You are beautiful. You are charming. You are handsome. You are awesome. If you know your purpose, you focus on the right things, your energy, your talents, everything about you. It's going to be intentional and it's going to be on the right things. Thank you so much. Do not forget to hit the notification button, to like, to subscribe. See you in our next video.